A huge shout out to the overthinkers. An overthinker.
It's our overachiever. Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is Jose Mokwena. I am your host, and this is the show where we love South African football. We love African football, and every now and then we dip our toes just a little bit into European football. But for the most part, we focus on South African football and African football. This show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. Unless Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Bafana are in action, then we'll be here doing a watch-along, which we were supposed to be doing today. We were supposed to only be going live at 7:30 today, but it turns out that Irvin had to cancel the game that was going to happen today with Orlando Pirates. It was announced yesterday. So this is why this has become a Thursday review show instead of it being a watch along of the Pirates game. Unfortunately, the financial issues that are being faced by Irvin are coming to a head, and they're causing games to be postponed and cancelled. We're not sure which is which right now, but that is how it is. Very, very sad situation, because we went through the same sort of situation with Morocco Swallows last season, where during December they missed out on 2 games. Hopefully, Irvin can bounce back so that we can get our football back on track. And we can carry on with that. Guys, it's a very interactive show, and if you want to add your voice to any of the panels that we have running during the show, just know that you have to be following me on TikTok, and then join me live right now. While I'm live right now on TikTok, bottom of your screen, there's a button that says multi-guest. You click on the button, I let you in. You let me know what you think about whatever it is we are speaking about. So, guys, as I said, because we don't have a match today, we're going to be doing a review of last night's match. That was a thrilling rematch between Mamelodi and Mamelodi Sundowns, a game that ended 2-1 to Mamelodi Sundowns. Even though Mamelodi had 6 shots, 3 on target throughout the game, actually scored first, had a chance to maybe get a second through Wonder Boy Makubo, who could have gotten a brace. But then they allowed Mamelodi Sundowns to come back, and Sundowns in turn got 12 shots and 3 on target, but through Costa in the 64th minute and then through Matthews in the 86th minute, they were able to turn the tide of this game and win 2-1. They had 77% of the possession, and get this, 648 passes completed by Mamelodi Sundowns versus Mamelodi's 190. Let's talk, guys. Let's talk. Hey, Kwadani, whenever you guys say those things, I get confused, and then I become, hey. It was the 2-1. Okay, so I'm going to open up the panels. We're going to start off with the panels as usual, and I will allow people to jump in and have a say as to whatever we are speaking about right now. So please, if you want to join the first panel, jump in, and let's have a conversation about the game that we saw yesterday. If I could just get these things right. Let me see. Is agent requesting? Because when he requests, hey, my stuff goes haywire. Okay, let's see who's here. Oh, Tembe.
Khambani manje njema lento rimi.
Yeah? Tembe bani?
Ngathi jam edli lana khambani Mr. Otsi. Yangizwa.
Ngiyakuzwa, but then comment-ini, guys, in the comments, am I moving on TikTok? I just want to make sure. Okay. Tembe, hey, ngiyabona man nishay, angazi if niya celebrate nifuna ukungena. But welcome, my brother. How are you? Business celebration.
Asikaqedi Mr. Otsi. iDStv yethu siyibambile izolo finally. Yabo.
Uthini ngegame? How do you feel about this game?
Mr. Otsi, I will say it was a game of 2 halves, Mr. Otsi. Where we saw the first half, Manish, we weren't looking the best of sides. Plus, I think in Amachita were forcing things, especially in conditions that weren't suitable to us, Mr. Otsi. Amachita ngazama ukulibeka phansi ibhola abadlala icarpet football but ngicabanga ukuthi leli yabe sihlala kulo beli ground for leyo nto leyo yabo. Hence we saw the changes that we saw in the second half. Yeah, I think yesterday was almost one of those matches again where there were a few Sundowns fans who felt like, just like in that CAF game last night, we were not 2-1. But, you know, we came back in the second half and we did the necessary things. More than anything, Mr. Otsi, I'd like to just, you know, praise our coach, Mr. Otsi. Because I think in all the games that he's coached, it's shown that if plan A yakhe especially plan A yakhe indabi samaxeka but okay asikho lapho iplan A yakhe miyexeka uyakwazi ukuyilungisa implement plan C. So I like a reactive coach. I think it's been a very long time where we've seen a Sundowns have a stronger second half than the first half. Khumbula vele into besana kuyinotha kakhulu ukuthi vele those dying minutes of the game iSundowns sanoxeka, and that's also another thing that was eliminating us, CAF, Mr. Otis, those dying minutes. And I'm seeing that has changed, Mr. Otis. I'm seeing big improvements on that. It would be a cardinal sin to not mention that that's been rectified. Also noting, Otis, we are scoring set pieces, which is really, really refreshing, Mr. Otis. Sundowns, we aren't necessarily known for our set pieces. So I want man, even though like the style of play isn't catchy on the eye, but those little things that we really needed to work on, Mr. Otsi, just like the set pieces and improving those last couple of minutes of the game, we've seen Coach Cardoso address them, and those parts of the team aren't looking shaky. You know, I just think that there's just that that shakiness with some of the fans who are not sure if they want to win medals or they want to play beautiful football, you know, because you can't have your cake and eat it, Mr. Otsi. I think everything comes at a price, Mr. Otsi.
But before, can I ask you, Cardoso, is it a case of him being a genius, or is it a case of him consistently getting the first lineup or the first tactic wrong and then having to fix it later? Do you think that maybe that could be a problem? Because in my case, they could have been 2-0 up half time.
Yeah, they could have, would have, should have. If they could have, they would have, you know, but they didn't. So more than anything, Mr. Oti, I'm not looking to put Cardoso on a pedestal. For me, the most important thing is to have a coach who knows how to read the situation and adapt the team, especially going into the crucial stages of CAF and the league, Mr. Oti, because it's not like Pirates is far off from us. So I think having a coach who's going to have the ability to be flexible, because, you know, with our previous coach, Mangoba, we had a coach who would want to attack the whole game, Mr. Oti, even within those dying minutes of the game. And I'm just making an analysis. So sometimes there's no need for that, Mr. Oti. There's no need to play Ibola, El Kichimayo the whole game, Mr. Oti, you know. So if we have a coach who knows how to read the situation and move accordingly to what's necessary in that particular time, then the more that's better for us, Mr. Oti. That's better for us. But it's just that double-edged sword, you know, that we're going to have to walk now. Yoguti, do you want to win trophies or do you want to play beautiful football? And I think more than anything, what is happening with, you know, I've noticed that South Africans actually love Sundowns, you know, because they're so invested in what's going on in Sundowns, how Sundowns is played. They emotionally invested in our team, Mr. Oti, you know, and it's either you want to play. I don't know if it's a loser mentality, Mr. Oguti, because South Africa traditionally hasn't had great results going outside of the country. So we've rather let's play beautiful ball, and it's okay if we lose as long as we play beautiful ball. So we're content with playing beautiful ball, but results don't matter in South Africa. Versus the Sundowns that's saying no, we want to be winners, and winners concentrate on results. However you got there, but results are the most important thing. So I think that's a mind shift that's going to take isikhathi to change, Mr. Uti, where South Africans get to the place where they put winning over a style of play, you know, because I was thinking about this today. Yeah, Uti.
No, I was saying, what if it doesn't win? What happens to Sundowns then? Because I mean, you've put aside the other way. You know, you threw it away. You've changed a lot. You've done a lot of changes. What happens if it doesn't win? Is it a case of you give it 5 years for the sake of giving it because you need to give it that time, or does it become a chincha finder to try find the best system?
Yeah, I think I don't think Sundowns is in a place where they can say we're giving something 5 years anymore. They've clearly stated that the mandate is we want fast changes and fast improvements. I don't know how successful they're going to be with that approach, but it's an approach that they've decided to go with from this point going forward, Mr. Otsi. And you lie in the bed that you make, Mr. Otsi. So if this is the bed that the higher ups have decided for Sundowns, then they will also have to deal with the repercussions of that and adjust accordingly. You know, Mr. Otsi, Sundowns is failing forward, Mr. Otsi. Okay. We're not failing backwards. I think we're failing forward. I'm very interested to see how Sundowns fans or South Africa in general come to terms with winning is the most important thing rather than style of play, Mr. Oti. I really want to see how we tackle that psychologically. I really would like to see how we approach that, Mr. Oti, because like I said, man, the thing I was thinking about the most today that I was eating at my mind is, Oti, are South Africans obsessed with style of play more than winning because of our history? You know,
yeah.
So into being living Mr. Oti, where's this frustration coming from?
For time, we'll see. We might come back later. I'll open the time later, but I wanna hear from Terence. Terence, welcome to the show. How are you?
Mr. OT, my brother, how are you?
Man, I'm okay, man. I was watching football yesterday. No sides, no GNU.
Get that guy off Pitori. Hey, Mr. OT. Let me tell you something. Man. It pains, before I touch on our side, on the Sundown side of things, I understand. Let me touch on the Amagezi side of things.
Okay.
You are a player. To defend 90 minutes is one difficult thing, Mr. OT. To play without the ball for 90 minutes, it's a lot. You have to cover a lot of spaces. So, but when you have the ball, you can relax. You be in position, you need the ball goes to the left, to the right, and center, there and there. So I think Owen Dagamo got it wrong here. You are killing South African football to defend for so long, 4-5-1. My brother. That's not a winning formation, even though they can say sometimes it's a strong team, superiorly or whatnot whatsoever, but to play 4-5-1, there was a time they were playing 5-5, everyone behind the ball. That's not football. But either way,
almost worked. It almost worked. You could argue.
But we will suffer moving forward as South Africans because of you have to play other competitions. The only thing that you know that you can do best is to play behind the ball. And you expect to be elected as squatting at the end of the day. Let's be realistic. Okay, Sharp, then we go to the many can say Sundowns is not playing a good football anymore. I want tiki taka, shushine, parake shaulini go mamelodi makrut manakale na bara mfanaka eke shaulini kere prasoweto ra yang arae dangerous bolo. So they want us to play a tiki taka and everything, carpet football. But at the end of the day, people are parking a bus against us. If you remember last season, everyone in the PSL was playing similarly when they play against Sundowns. So they came this season knowing that Sundowns is playing positional football. We just park a bus. You understand? This season, this season. Hello, we had to change things, my brother. Because of Parpakela base. We had to change things. But now, to be brutally honest with you, I'm happy with the style of play Sundowns. And what a brave win. We showed character. We digged deep for that win. Allegedly, even though some they say, allegedly, if some say,
allegedly,
if some say another team must win the league by hook or crook.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So it's what's happening, but it's not a problem. Even though was Ropama code clear goals and everything, we soldier.
Yeah. Can I ask, how sustainable is that style of play, or how sustainable is the planning of the coach? Because we've seen it at Maniema, we saw it now with Imakesi, two teams that maybe shouldn't have been giving you problems. Mara, that's besides the point. First half, if Maniema takes their chances, if Makesi takes their chances, does it become too much of a hill to climb at some point, Terence? Or the first half Sarona saw all the time. Do you think it comes back to bite Sundowns at any point?
I don't see that happening. Let me break this down for you. Ne?
Okay.
It's you play 45 minutes one in 3 patches. First 15, second 15, and third 15. I don't know how other teams play now, but you play in patches of 15. You understand? That's why it's about the last 10, 15 minutes of the game, or the last 5 minutes. It's crucial, of the first half and the second half. It's only the first 5 minutes of the half. You understand? They're very crucial. You play soccer matches, carry faces, one so. So it happens. Our coach, Cardoso, got the first 10, 15 minutes. Or the other side have planned a certain way to us. That's why we get a rhythm arena. About 29 minutes, 30 minutes, where we get our rhythm. You understand? So I'm not. I got to have faith if Maniema and Magezi could have taken their output. They didn't. On the day they scored 1 goal. Because of our technical awareness, the backline arena, getting mistakes. I can't remember the goal standards. They are both mistakes. They've talked about mamelodi Sundowns. One understand. Getting mistakes, arena. I want bar punish our katsona, but capitalize a katson. Getting mistakes, arena. But so far, a coach can only plan A and B, C, D. The guy's got 4 plans. If one doesn't work, quickly. Oh, when I did, you said something where he sees things, what you call, like immediately, kapila. Once I wonder, okay, this is not working for me, and that's not working. That's why a manager who change the tactics are high fast.
So then, this question. From what you've seen, how do you beat Sundowns? If you were to advise the team,
that's a mountain to climb. The way to beat Sundowns, don't one thing. Don't pack any form of bus or truck when you're playing against Sundowns. We've got a lot of defensive errors. Teams must come at us.
Okay.
They so fear us. Sundowns forward-wise, we look lethal. The team to buy. If ever I were them, they could take us Sundowns. Defender, backfire, nice slow blind. Even the center perineal, it's too slow. In any ways, Grant is slow, Umrao, khoza was slow, Lewusa was slow.
Yeah.
So imagine playing with 2 speedy players, what are killer, Brian. Even though Motobi Mumvala is one of our players, but not the mistakes to buy. What a fast rate or attack sometimes. But when you pack the bus, you are playing right into our hands.
Okay, but for time's sake, it's okay now. Let me bring in Kodani. Kodani, welcome to the show.
Mr. OT, how are you, my brother?
Me, I'm happy, man. Me, I'm fine. I'm happy. Tell me, Kodani, how do you feel about this game? 2-1 versus Makesi. Comeback Kings.
Not 2-1. 3-1. All right, Mr. Oti, firstly, I just want to, I don't know, this, I think Pearson needs to do something with these pitches. If I remember correctly, last game when we played Polokwane, I think we got 1 or 2 injuries. Okay. Yesterday, we got another 2 injuries. Same pitch. So I think Pearson needs to do something, especially beginning of the season, they need to inspect all these pitches.
Marake advantage nyana, mar. Advantage nyana. Polokwane and Makesi, they know old Peter Mukava. We know small pitch. What? Get advantage, man.
No, but it's injuring our players. This pitch is serious. Now Mudau and Murena, they're out.
Yeah.
best tools.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, first half, I can give it to Owen Dagama and Magezi. I think he came with a plan and it really worked. And then they get that goal, and then they were defending very well. They were not leaving space in between, so they were forcing Sundown to go wide, which is difficult for us to penetrate. And the other thing, this pairing of Renas and Shalolile, I always talk about it also. I don't see it working for Sundown actually, especially when they put those two guys, because one will shine, one will not be there at all. Like, I don't understand why he keeps on putting them together. I think this game was supposed to be Shalulile and Sales. I think, yes, they gel together, and the pitch, I think it favors them also, Shalulile, because Shalulile can run, he can hold, and this pitch, sometimes it can hold the ball if you just loop it in. So I think it was favoring Shalulile much more than Renas, because we couldn't give Renas those through balls. Yes, because Magezi came with a plan. And then second half, I give kudos to Coach Cardoso. I think he read the game very well. And then he introduced Sales and Matthew. Even though I was against Sales when agent said he must bring Sales, I was first one to comment and say, no, Sales. So I take that one back. So I think, that was a very smart move. So, second half, we came together. I think Magezi, they made a mistake by sitting at the back and just leaving one guy in front, because if you realize at the back, Khoza and Lebus, they were making a lot of mistakes actually, especially when we were playing from the back, and we know Onyango can't do those passes from the back. So I think Owen Dagama was supposed to put maybe two guys who are fast, just loop the ball in between those Kekana or Lebusa and Khoza, because they were making a lot of mistakes. I'm sure they were going to get a goal or two if they keep doing that. But they went and sit back, and then they give Sundown confidence because they were playing freely now. So, I think that's where the Owen Dagama lost the game. But, kudos to Sundown. 3 points in the back. 6 points,
then,
not different.
Now I'm going to ask everybody the same question. Is it a case of Cardoso being a genius, or is it a case of Motaung CAF starting and it's once Lukise later? And is it something that is sustainable for Mamelodi Sundowns? Say, for example, you get a team that takes 3 chances in the first part of the game while Sundowns is finding itself. Now it's 3-0. Is it sustainable?
That's true. I think it's something that we need to work on it, especially if we get Kaizer Chiefs. You know, Kaizer Chiefs first 10-15 minutes, they come hard on you. So if they can score 2-3 goals, then it's going to be a problem coming to second half. I think he needs to get his first starting 11, especially in front, the front three. I think he needs to get his first starting 11. But I think for now, he's still busy. He doesn't have much more experience with PSL, so we're still learning these teams, how they play, how they're coming to him, and all those things. That's why most of the time, come second half, he knows what to do after the first 45. But I think he needs to get to the speed with the PSL and all these teams.
Yeah.
Because I don't think if we have to wait for the second half, it's gonna work. Because sometimes teams can frustrate you the whole 90 minutes and end up scoring again the second goal at the second half, because we're going to be pushing everyone up front. And if you get some teams with some speed, like Police,
Stellenbosch,
we know our defense, they are very slow, very, very slow. So if we get those teams with some speed, then they can counter us and score, because if we are going to the second half trailing 1-0, surely going to come like everyone will be going forward. And we know we always leave Khoza and Kekan at the back. Everyone is forward. And those two, they're always on the middle of at the center line. And if the guys just loop the ball, there won't be any offside, because they're going to be coming from their half. So I think he needs to quickly adapt also to his first 11. I think he needs to get it right.
Okay. For time's sake, I'm going to step in. Let me bring in Ustake. Stake.
Hola.
How are you, my brother?
Kushapo boss wako wena.
Man ke monate man play like a game ena 2-1 Sundowns win.
Re bone Sundowns. Sundowns esa tshosa. A re no bua nnete. Sundowns e normal no.
Mara esa tshosa. Ena le one loss ko league.
Ya wina fela. Go itse o ka lebellane. You know, we need a Sundowns coach re ngwe le ngwe na for stress. Batho ka ba lebella le game a mabane. Win ya bona ba struggle batho ba. Team ele e thozi di chance ke fela or ke magesi. Ne e thozi di chance wa palese go di Spanish. O well second half. The first 5 minutes of second half. Magesi thozi di chance.
Yeah.
Wabona. Mfano na tshameka wing ya magesi. Una le first touch but bola ha fetsa e bola. Wa yusa. Wabona. So na gana ile player re botlhale wa. Defender Sundowns is slow too much.
Yeah.
Na Sundowns ha ntsosi. Kore le ha ka kopa le players tsa tshwana le tsa Chiefs tsa tshwana le bo Shabalala. Ba ira tsona dionyana tsene.
Re tlogele go sighting Kaizer
I make an example ka di quality tsa di players tse di wa bona. Batho ke itse hore ba shoka stories tsa bona. Gore ha tsena mo grant ba tlokora. So team ele e rile mo player nye one gore ke ena o leng gore okay wa mona hore ke na tshwantse tla a go kora. But Sundowns ga sa dlala the way re itse Sundowns. I know re coach re mo lengwe tlo change play. Wa bona. But Sundowns ya struggle. Ho ka lebela le goal tsa ba di creator. Mokwena o zama go dlala di long pass. Wa bona a jumpise defender ha Sundowns ele.
Mara, okay. Is it a case where Sundowns is no longer scary, or is it a case where maybe are rated the way but the results get out? No matter how it's happening.
It's not longer scary. Yeah. Anyway, the goal is on a detail ba wina ka thata. Sundowns has a source. And for Pelefale, it will lose the game. I'm telling you. You lose the game. Coach Araga last. Have I con no maisa rulani?
Yeah.
Rulani na win the game. But as I make a ball is a pila, everyone I lata. Hana no Sundowns have to dala or at what cup. O one about to succeed.
If Coach Ona has succeeded, he had Sundowns ibuela go Sundowns in ya gale or baya pele ka ntwe entšha ya bona ya go kenya di coach o tšhintšha o etsang o reng ba tlo etsang if let's say Coach Ona has successful
hira hape bo hira hape di CV se bana di le teng
yeah
le no o tsama ka play e tshamekana o tsama defender Sundowns e makhasa
okay
o ka se itumelo go ra 2 goals but o struggle go defender against magesi ka ba strike ka one striker awa
go is this the end for is this the end for Rhinas? How do you feel about the Rhinas teaming in if they're going to play like that?
Rhinas a ka stlana gona le bolo e nngwe e tlhaile ba dala ba ilupa e wetse mo yena ke bolo e nne o bona re aim ya gage na batla go ira na batla go gore a ska trap ba fela fitisa raga but just because height ya gage always o phela a tshontsoro a tsame gore a berekise strength or a khona raga ball because always ball tsa ba tlo ba chance tsa di kang ke ball tse di tswang go di
okay
that's why hona no ka level ba tlo gore like national league because ona la advantage a tlhogo fair
okay no Ricky, I want to say something before the next panel. Guys, I think that for now, Magesi gave up that game. And Magesi gave up that game because of the inexperience in the second half. I think whatever they were doing in the first half with their structure and the way they were sitting was forcing Sundowns wide. Bafana Sundowns is one team that the moment you start chasing, I can see one cresta. The moment you start chasing is when they get you, because that's when you open up the spaces. Marali Lutzi live in structure. It becomes very hard for them to play. I think sales coming in confuse the defenders, confuse the midfielders, because Nebamulatela. He runs in, he runs back out. Defender Mulatela. Now there's more space. And you saw Sundowns playing centrally. The second thing that I think Imakesi did wrong, excuse me, Imakesi did wrong for me was that Imakesi in the second half, you can defend. Defending is fine. I don't mind you saying that you want to defend. But you must be defensive and dangerous at the same time. And that means that when you're defending, and have Wonder Boy chase the defender, or Wonder Boy pressure khoza as he was doing throughout that game. What that does is that it makes the Sundowns have to think. So, for example, we saw Gran Kekana almost playing left wing second half. But I can guarantee you that if they targeted khoza 2, 3, 4 times, as a coach, as players, you have to think to yourself, there's that danger that's coming there. But the more you allow them to play and give them the ball and not be dangerous, they get confidence. I want Sundowns kills on confidence. This game, for me, wasn't that different than a game, Rulani last season towards the end, when people would come in and they'd play low block. 75 minutes, they'd start sitting too deep back, and then and the whole point of what they're doing there is to do what? Something's going to break. A defender's going to slip, somebody's going to make a mistake, and the goal will be scored. So I think you have to not only keep that structure, but keep your danger, guys. Keep your danger. If Wonder Boy has been doing well versus khoza, keep doing that with Wonder Boy versus khoza, so that Sundowns can't relax fully. The moment they relax fully, you are dead. That's when you get tired. That's when they start moving. That's when they start going all around. Mara, for Nako Staki, let me bring in the next panel of the people who are inside. In the comments, guys, please tell us what is happening. Lerato Pirates, unfortunately, is not playing. It's not playing because Royal AM is Royal AMing wherever they are. So the financials are not looking right. So they chose to cancel that game. But let me get in the next panelist so we can speak about what is happening here. It's tough there. Mara Pirates must be happy, guys. No one beats SARS. And Royal AM is basically SARS right now. Okay, let me see while I get people in. What's happening? Oh, the man with the PhD.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. The penalty. Hey, Kileboni. Lidisa kwale kwa.
Oti, what's obviously, I'm the most controversial. They'll always want to show you that side. Maramoki stretchang kule. Akamlumat, kumlumadite. Kimlumadek, pass it net. You pass it net, so obviously. No, that was an injury, obviously. They wanted to, you know socials, they want to sell. So I'm still nursing my injury. But I can pass it net.
Calabaring, we listen and we don't judge.
No, the video is out there.
Sundowns.
Eric can straight to Grand Braoti and the panelists here. I think first of all we need. Yeah, I think we need to understand, first of all, Rona, we are not team owners, and there's no one who must prevail us or try to stop us when we talk about any team, whether be it whatever team, if I want to. So, but if you're going to have a conversation about football and people will be telling you, talk about your team. I don't own a team I don't own Pirates. Pirates, but when we talk football, unless if Pirates decides to play alone, then we can then talk about Pirates. Remember, Pirates fail.
Yeah.
But it goes without saying that a disappointing performance from Mamelodi Sundowns, especially when they were starting the play. I mean, the planning of Owen Dagama, it was clearly obvious to Babatla score at least 2 goals. Unfortunately or fortunately, I wanted to see a khoza when he's not playing the ball or when he's pressed. Remember, Sundowns, they are very comfortable when they play the ball, and we can say that they are the best team in terms of playing the ball. But when pressed, they are a bit shaky, if I may say. You see a slowly Kekane. He couldn't even defend. He was not close to the defender when pressed, by the way. A khoza, whom I said is a youngster, he still has a space to improve. But when he was pressed, he lost the ball. He was very slow. Tebo Mokwena, when he's pressed, he loses temper. Ribeiro, he's not so deadly when he's not coming from the wing, when he's playing at that number 10. But you talk about Sales for me. Yes, Sales, for people can judge him according to how he scores. But for me, I think he had changed the game in terms of making Sundowns play. And I don't think that's what we were expecting. We're expecting Sales to score goals. But for Sales to come as that number 9 rather, who makes the team to play, that was very profound for me. So I wouldn't even expect goals. I mean, it was intentional how he passed Ribeiro there. That header was a passer. He was passing him, and far better than other players when they are passing Kalutu. So and I mean for Ribeiro also to complement that without acrobats. I mean, you can tell this was very good football, and you give it to Denisio Onyango, who's not been playing regularly, but I mean he made crucial saves. I mean, for that guy when he came, I think it was Makube, maybe the second time when he was about to score. And when he lost some concentration, Onyango knew that he lacks experience, and then he just won that ball. But for me, Sundowns, and for Sundowns people who understand football, we can say, remember, Oti, we are very careful with our predictions rather, and our statements. I've watched Cardoso, and I still say I hold my sentiments. I was sober, and I'm still am sober. It doesn't win convincingly, and I know how impatient Sundowns fans have been through how spoiled they are. They've been winning the champions, I mean, 7 times in a row. So this is a team. This is not a team that can accept to lose or to draw, especially when Pirates is doing very well. So it's just a matter of time, and unfortunately, some of us happen to be the gods of football. Whatever we say, it goes to pass. People can argue, but eventually they will be singing the same song. They might become emotional if they want, but will never deprive them of the truth. And that's who I am.
Can I ask you? Is Cardoso's advantage in the league, or is Cardoso's advantage in the league going to be that only plan B that's full? And it seems like our teams take a while to, it took Magesi 20 minutes catch on to what was happening with Sales. Can you tell me about that thing? Is that maybe a blind spot in our coaching?
At this level, when you're playing against Magesi, remember we're talking about Sundowns, 7 times league winners. Magesi, they just arrived into the elite football. So you don't expect that much of a bad performance when you're starting the match. Yes, you can, when you are playing against your big teams like your Stellies, you are allowed to make those because you are now exposed in a way. When you're playing against Sundowns or Pirates, I mean to say your Chiefs, big clubs. Here we are judging also according to the standard of Magesi, because also we are not judging according to results. We are also judging football according to how you play it. Sundowns were playing the Champions League. I tell you, when they were playing Champions League the last game, where they drew 1-1, you can tell that Sundowns looked convincing. Yes, the results were not on their favor, but you could tell that Sundowns had a direction. They had control of the ball. They could do whatever with what they wanted with the ball. But on this case, especially against Magesi, they were not so convincing. They didn't have control of the game. They were just playing against a weaker opponent or an opponent that didn't really take advantage of the situation. And the very same people now who are saying us, we hate, jealous and everything, had they lost or even a draw, they would be speaking the opposite of what they're saying. And remember, football, hence we don't sleep and watch the results after. We watch the how part. How do you win? How did you know, the how part? What was the growth behind, beyond the results? You can win 3-0 and we tell you that you didn't play well. And you might take it as jealous if you want. And football is not for those that cannot really contextualize football in that manner. If you want to look at football from a results point of view, you still have a problem. Because some days it rains, some is hot, some is chilled, you understand? So football, you have to analyze. That's why we analyze it. How did you play? How was Khoza? How was Kekani? How was Shalulile? How was the looping of the ball? Did we get 2 or 3 looping balls from... Remember, they rely more on the looping. When you talk about this guy, Allende, you expect 1 or 2 looping balls to Shalulile or to Reynas. Do Reynas and Shalulile complement each other? You understand? Did Mokwena combine well with this guy? Not Mkhulisi. Yeah. We look at those combinations. Okay. Did they start playing from the back? How quickly, in terms of seconds, time, how quickly was the ball from the back to the final third? You understand? Because that's how Sundowns are looking at things now. So we have to look at it from that aspect.
For time, I'm going to jump in. Guys, don't worry to the people in the panel. I'm going to give everybody extra time. Let's cast stress. Let me bring in Agent. Because he was one of the people that spoke about the change of sales before it happened. Agent, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Shalom, my brother.
Oh, Al-Khaim Shalom. We're learning. We're trying.
You must try. Shalom to Papa Khosi and the rest of the Mamelodi Sundowns faithful and well-wishers.
Why, Mara? Why Lily down today, man? Bobo is a player, and he was calm.
Hey, no, we do what champions do best. We are the early of PSL, so we won't get shaken. Where do we start? There's a quote that I like. It says, "If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's probably a duck." I'm not sure if Coach Cardoso is a good coach. I don't know. But sounds like a good coach, speaks like a good coach, acts like a good coach. Most probably is a good coach. Right? And I want to give a few instances. And I normally don't engage panelists for a reason, but he has PhD, so I can engage him openly. he wouldn't feel otherwise because of his PhD. But for me, the way he sets up his team and the way he's able to respond, like Tso says, is a game of questions and answers. When he's asked a question, most of the time he comes with an answer. For me, that's a mark of a great coach. And I'm going to give 4 instances for me that have convinced me that he is a good coach. I might be wrong, but for me, it looks like a good coach and sounds like a good coach. The first thing is, and I like making this example, is when you're 1-0 down against Raja in CAF Champions League, what does he do? He takes out a striker, brings in a defender. A typical fan is asking himself, but what is happening here? What's going on? Why we need goals, you're defending? But he's calculative and saying, in as much as I'm under pressure, in as much as I need a win, but there are games that you need to lose, and you need to know how you lose such kind of games. Because he was looking at the aspect of head-to-head. This team we beat 1-0. If they beat us 1-0, we are okay head-to-head. We go to goal difference, you're okay there. So you can afford to lose 1-0. For me, that's a mark of a great coach. Right? Second thing, Maniema, they lead and he brings in Shalulile scores. Yesterday, he brought in Sales, assist, and Tesh scores. Right? And then another thing is, like I said, I don't know if he was aware of this fact, but most probably the analysis they have, most probably was aware of this fact that every time Sundowns loses, and Abuti Kuso might dispute this, we get knocked out always when we play the second game at home. So he has the presence of mind and say, you know what, let's take a draw. let's play the first game at home because it shows that it has good omen for us in CAF. That's the presence of mind that I'm talking about. And he's saying, let me not take the risk of going forward and losing and trying to lose. And so that I can claim that I played professionally, Sundowns played like a big team. What is this of playing like a big team and end up losing? There's no reward for being a good guy. So that again is a substitution. It's a mark of a great coach. And the last example that I want to make yesterday is this. Yesterday we lost 2 wingers. I mean fullbacks.
Fullbacks, yeah.
Yeah. And he could have easily opted to put Masheho, who is a natural fullback. But he shifts to a back 3. And Kekana was one of our best
players.
It
was a back one, that one.
But back 3 is 3-5-2. Go to 3-5-2.
The 1-6-2. Why? Kekana was crossing.
Either way. But the point is, Kekana as the fullback who was overlapping, I didn't think he would overlap. Who was overlapping was one of our best attackers. So that was a strike of genius. So in two moments he had strokes of genius, Kekana and Sales and Tesh. So for me, that's a mark of a great coach. That's what I can say with that.
Can I ask you? Oh, okay. No, go ahead.
And the last point that I want to make is I hear, I don't know if I should say the analyst or the what, that he's micromanaging. Micromanaging is the new thing. Pep does it, Rulani does it. Why was it a problem? People found Mangoba to be laid back, not coaching, and they found fault in that. So I don't mind his micromanaging because it's the new thing. Yeah.
Are we ready for the Ahlification of Mamelodi Sundowns? And I mean it in the sense of, that game was won through a sub that maybe we didn't see. Whereas, we would have maybe expected to see another attacking player and another striker and a kitchen sink. Now we're seeing something different. Are we ready for that pragmatism of that change? Are we ready for the pragmatism of making business decisions 1-1? Are we ready for the pragmatism of head-to-head 1-0? Because that's a lot of what the North does. Can we accept that here?
No, I don't think we are ready for that. In as much as Hugo Bruce has tried that, we are not ready for that, unfortunately. And there's nothing we can do. And sometimes I'm always against the assertion sometimes that people make. Sundowns still had 614 passes. Rulani's team averaged 600. So it was still a Sundowns-like performance. And even the way we won, 80% of Rulani's games were won by 1-0 or 2-0 difference.
People won't remember.
People don't remember that, So I still feel like we are holding on to what we feel like Sundowns needs to play, but we don't want to accept that we are moving into an era, and what Sundowns has been doing has not been working. Like someone said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah.
So maybe this time we are trying something new. It may not work, guaranteed, but at least we are trying something new. That's what we can appreciate. Thank you. I don't think I want to touch on the game because others would. Thank you.
For time, let me bring in Tumi. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Evening, OT, and everyone in our house. I'm so happy that my fellow Sandawana was just laying the carpet for us to walk, man. We are not scared. Yes, we sweat a little bit when PSD and everyone start making noise in our ears, but then honestly, I'm not scared. This is my Sundowns. Bona champions win either way, OT, and then yes, we can debate the way we used to strike fear into the opposition's heart, the aura in the tunnel. Maybe we lost a little bit of that because of the transition, just starting with the game yesterday. Yes, we had our plan. Mageze had their plan. They want to sit back, get a goal, and then suffer and get the result. We wanted to dominate, maybe get to the final third and move the ball quicker and punish movement to be better. That's our Sundowns. But that didn't happen. What did we do? Our coach said, you know what? I'm new here. Based on what I've seen on the at Lorcop, let me try this guy, let me try that guy. I think I agree with most of the panelists, when they say this is not the Sundowns way and this guy will go, no. I think I agree. Yes, this is not the Sundowns way, but it will get better because this guy is competing with people who had preseason. They had the whole time to pick out their guys and say, you know what, this is my starting 11. And football is one in the heart. I always say football belongs to the fans. What we like seeing is what keeps us going back to the stadium. So our shoe shine and piano will come because I think this thing started when the investments were made by the board. They brought very expensive players, we agree. Then there was a coach and they didn't think this guy's utilizing the investments the way they want to see the club, the investments to be utilized. Then they brought someone who they believe can utilize the investment. Hence now I'm thinking, as much as it's not getting the shoe shine the way we want, but the passes are still there, like the previous panelist said, the passes are still there, but it is not how we are used to. You understand? It's not our way. But I like the fact that he's saying, as much as this thing is happening, I'm the coach that will cement the natural norm of the world, which is champions 10 loses into draws into wins. And a very good coach of mine that I loved so much, he was very honest. He said people benefit, and then we can bank on something. We have budget for that. We've budget for that. We have budget for those bad results. We are Sundowns. We can't be shaken by the noise and the transition. Just that our transition is quicker because we are 7-time champions. We strike fear in the north, in the west, central. So I'm happy. Whatever's gonna happen in the future with this club, I can tell you, we will not lose our pedigree as being Mamelodi Sundowns. The team that I know, even you, OT, you can say this and that. Are we ready for a team that will play so badly and come back and turn the result? I know of a team that went to the final of the MTN, semi-final. You can even see the documentary because we spy. They made big changes in the halftime. They tweaked a few things and they are the champions. Why are we supposed to be yelled at when we do it? Because we are supposed to make it look nice all the time. No, man. No one turns like him. We don't have that guy. People don't think about it. But we are Sundowns. We don't worry about who's not there. We worry about the results.
Look, Mina, I just wanted to ask, would you be fine if Shushan and Piano never came back?
No, I will never be fine. Listen, we know that change is the only certainty in this life. Yeah. We know that. But when that change respects the culture and the norms, that's when we embrace the change. Otherwise, it's a painful change. People go 10, 15 years trying to get the change with the culture together, and you know how painful that can be. So when our change brings a bit of results, I'll go back to the investments. The investment says the money we poured into this team in terms of the players and now in this window also says that we can't afford to be crashing out of league races. We can't afford to be crashing out of competitions. You understand? So as much as we're not getting the shoe shine, can we be there at the end when May comes, when April comes? Can we be there amongst the conversation? That's what I'm saying for now. This guy will turn it around.
This is just a general question. I just wanted to know, because what if, and again, this is the what if. What if this is the era that gives Mamelodi Sundowns all of their trophies? What if ugly, quote unquote, ugly football is what brings Sundowns success? Similar to most probably when Shushan and Piano was brought in. Now it followed something. Are we ready as South Africans to evolve? Well, not evolve, but are we ready to go with the change if it were to make the change? Look at Hugo Bruce. We're still fighting him to this day.
Yeah, the national team will respond to you, But that guy will respond to you when you talk about that. He say, I tried it your way, that this is where we are. But this is our product, man, OT. This is our flagship football. If there was a period, PhD and everyone here who loves football on this platform will tell you, our stadiums were so empty because of that result-driven mentality that the coaches had. I don't think we had enough South African coaches in the top flight, and then people didn't show up to the stadium because of that. Teams were winning. I know there's only, maybe I can say, the other guys who are not even in the conversation that can fill up the stadiums everywhere, even when there's no house, when the road is no longer there. It's just a big pothole. So we can't, my man. We can't, we'll never accept that. That's what brings us to the stadium. If you can't, you'll go. Ask somebody who came there and he was a good media presenter, then he was fired just now.
Yeah, but on that note, for time's sake, let me bring it to Zamalek. Zamalek.
Hola, Oti.
How are you, my brother?
I'm good.
Zamalek, tell me about this game from yesterday. We were live together, but how do you feel about it now that you've had some time to reflect?
One thing, man, maybe I don't know. I'm not a coach. I'm not a professional yet. You can't defend and not have a way out, eh? You can't defend and not have a way out. Whereby at first you have an idea of what you wanna do, fine. You wanna defend deep, remain compact, frustrate Sundowns, good side thing. Okay, you see good Sundowns, you're frustrating it, you get a goal, and you saw how you got that goal. But you change. I don't know if you changed your tactics or you went in there and changed mentality to the boys or whatever. We don't need to go out, just kick the ball up front and then we'll see whether Makupu gets there or whatever, or we'll depend on khoza or whoever making a wrong pass. And then we defend. When you have the ball, you can't get out. Frustrating. But it's fine.
Can I defend Owen Dagama? How much of it is tactical and how much of it is concentration?
A lot of it, I'd say it's tactical, OT. Maybe Akiti. I mean, first of all, you can't be moved around by one player. Yes, I understand. In order for them to destroy the whole thing of them remaining compact, they add someone in the middle who plays a false 9 or that number 10, and then they say we're gonna spread it wide by putting Matthews there, and then it was just a decoy in a way, just to make them come in. Remember when I said they are tag teaming Kekana? Why do you tag team Kekana? First of all, Kekana has the ball, he's pushing up front, and then on tag team. Oh my man. Okay, sharp. They do that. It's fine. I understand. We can say Kitty tactics. Cardoso was smart about it, and I understand Cardoso was smart with it. Bringing in Salez and then Matthews. You add someone in the middle, you try to stretch them. That was very smart because of Reynas and Ribeiro was not stretching them the way Nonyak, which is fair enough for him. So that's why it's all down to the coach. And if you're a coach and you see them making the same mistake, like the same way it took them 30 minutes to realize, hi man, so let's be we don't need to follow him around. Let's just stick to our positions. I mean, we had a situation about a defensive midfielder, the centre back, both trying to follow the same player. I mean, as much as maybe coaches, deserve to take the blame, but Luana as a player, both of you are going to Salez at the same time and opening a gap behind you. I don't know, maybe get wrong, but you're opening space behind you, and then you expect someone will cover. And who will cover? Because you give Mokwena and Allende more space. Mokwena Allende had the ball, 18 Magezi, a lot of time, half year one. Most of the time, most of their passes. That's why you saw he even had a record, 50 passes. And I mentioned it yesterday. I'm like, Mokwena has the ball, made a lot of passes in the half year, Magezi. And why? Why is he allowing them to do that? If indeed Natoka Hore he's finding it difficult, why don't you just add a midfielder here or send a defensive midfielder just to stop that, or center back to track him around? it's just frustrating sometimes.
Can I ask you, is that maybe the downfall of South African football? Because if we look at the coaches that are doing well right now, just in general, we're seeing Cardoso, we're seeing Jose Rivero, and we're seeing two coaches in those guys that have a full plan B. Like, I feel like South African coaches have plan A, well, South African, some coaches in the league, some other coaches in the league have a plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, we don't have an answer, or we don't have a full plan B. We have an idea of what we might want to do. But now you're seeing Cardoso make two direct subs that change a game. Are we lacking that in our football?
Yeah, I heard, I think it was Agent. He touched on it somehow and it's like, Cardoso was able to change the game, and it's not the first time, it's not the second time. It's like close to my fifth time he has done this since he has taken over for Sundowns. Yeah, I'm sorry, I love Rulani, but that's why I also thought he got it wrong. He always had plan A, and then plan B, they couldn't execute it. It frustrated me, young Africans. It frustrated me against Tunis last season when I saw them playing the same balls every day. As I watch this Sundowns team, mark my words, they're going to get a big number 9. Shalulile and Reynolds won't do it. For what he has, like the coach, what he has for plan A, plan B should be what? I see them getting a big number 9 because the style of football he wants to play, it looks effective, but at the same time, you can say it's a bit negative, but it is effective. They are more direct than keeping the ball. The passes that khoza was making to Mokwena, he made a lot of direct passes into that space in the first half. But sometimes just because of the ball is not moving up front, and then you start to say, hey, Kante, why is khoza making such passes?
So then, for the last minute here, are we ready as South Africans? I'm going to ask this question over and over again. Are we ready? Because I'm hearing, for example, Sundowns fans have come on and said, no, guys, we're going to go back to Share and Piano. Are we ready to maybe come to grips with the fact that maybe Shushan is not the answer? Maybe Ahly is going to bring quote unquote, is going to bring Sundowns their success.
Hey,
quote unquote, Ahly.
I've been a supporter of Hugo Bros from day one. Rosa 70 show at 12 p.m. And I've always said he has a way forward. But with Sundowns, it's different. You know, it's like coming to Barcelona and trying to change your way at Barcelona, Sundowns. I don't know. Yes, I understand people are talking and saying, hey, guys, the vibe Sunday, stadium, it was different when Sundowns was doing that. The fans were so confused, and the fans didn't understand why are we stepping on the ball and not playing our football? Why are we not attacking? And are we gonna sit back? I mean, the fans themselves, if you were to sit, you see the side there, the coach, the fans still were pointing. They were like, hey, it's a hala. And that's my thing. As a team, yes. I think as a national team, it's a national team. It's a bit different as we're seeing like Spain has done. It's a bit different, but at club, I think hey, it's a big thing. It's a big ask because of Lily Stadium. We're expecting fans to come to the stadium. And one thing I want to add that's why I want to add now. This football, they're supporting it because of the coaches getting results, right? Let's say he gets the results and he doesn't win the CAF and he doesn't win Nedbank. My question with this type of football is, if they lead you till 2-0, are you ever going to come back? I always question that, especially when the coaches are the subs. I love how when you make subs, it looks like it shows good. Technically, you can see the game. But you need to see the game first before you come back. And also, if you get a team where it punishes you, 2-0, will you come back? Will those subs work enough? If it happens, Guti, they score the third goal. What happens? And if Cardoso, remember Cardoso is pressing the reset button here. Hanyane, he's pressing it. So he's going to get the players he wants at some point, or players that fit his football. As I said, he's going to get a number 9, a big 9 soon. You're not going Ahly, he might come to Sundowns, you'll never know. But yeah.
For time. Hey, we might see Marcel Koller joining Sundowns in the next few years. Let me bring in Karim. Karim, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Oti, how are you? Greetings.
No, I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Tell me about this game, man.
Hey, last night we saw a boxing match. It was a good, stressful boxing match.
Literally, even.
Yeah, Owen seemed to have had it, but he lost it. But I don't think it's him. I think it's the players.
Okay.
And then Cardoso, I think, is a very good situational coach. He adapts to each and every game differently.
Yeah.
The game I watched yesterday is different from the past 5 games we saw. How he played against Asfar, Raja, Cape Town City. And I think what Owen did, he analyzed all those games and he saw that, these teams were playing a high press. And then I think what he also did is he looked at Magesi and say Magesi versus Sundowns versus, in the Carling, and he saw that we played a low block here. Does the high press work against Sundowns? In most cases, it doesn't, because if you pressing Sundowns high, you're in their own half, and they have most of their players in their own half, so they create overloads easily because they just bring in players that just drop back and they create those overloads and they easily get out.
And they drag your players out of position.
Exactly, they drag you out of position, and also as an opponent, you're leaving a huge space behind. Once they get out of the second defensive line, they have all the space behind. They just get the ball behind, and then you have your Rangers running, similar to what they did against Cape Town City. They were just getting the ball over the second defensive line, and then you had 4 versus 3 situation, and it was easy for them. And then against, I think he looked at Magesi last season in the Carling Black label, and he saw that, they were using a low block, even though they won. But Sundowns had created so many chances. They were using a low block, and you're inviting Sundowns if you're using a low block. And what Mangoba was doing, he was using width most of the time, and he managed to create a lot of chances with that. I think what Owen did, he decided, I'm going to use a mid block. Sit in the middle, make it compact. If you sit in the middle, they were playing, I think they were playing a 4-3-3. So they had 3 players up front, 3 in the middle, the second defensive line. So that forces Sundowns to move up their build-up play. It started high up in the pitch. And obviously, if you're starting high up in the pitch, you can't move all your players above, way up. You have to leave a few players behind in case you lose the ball and then they counter-attack you. So they had to leave 2 players, which was Gekana and khoza, which means that overall the pitch, Magesi had more players, because they had 10 players behind the ball. It means Sundowns only had 8 players, so they couldn't create those overloads. So it was a 2-5-3 situation, and then in the middle it was a 6 versus 5 situation, because Magesi had 6 players in the middle, Sundowns had 5, and that's why you would have Ribeiro and either Reyners or Shasha dropping in to try and create that 6 versus 6 situation to get out of that overload. In the first half, it worked very well for Magesi. They managed that very well with that overload. And then also, I think they lost it in the second half. I don't think it's Owen. I think it's the players. They just went back and decided to do a low block, and that invited Sundowns. And then I think what Caruso did, which was clever, is to say, these guys are playing a low block now. Let me use this, and then he brought in Matthews to give them that width, and they were playing the balls over on top aerially. So if you play crosses, it's anyone's ball.
Yeah,
it's anyone's ball. That's how they got the first goal. They played the ball aerially to Sales, and then he won his tall. He won the ball, and he passed it back. When he falls back, he can fall to anyone in the box. So what Caruso did was very, very, very clever. He's a very situational coach. He adapts to each game very differently. I think Owen really, really tried, but I think it's the players who let him down. He actually even said it in his conference. He said they managed to do everything right, but the players just went back to what they were normally used to, which was the Clinton Larson Magesi.
Can I ask you something? Just randomly on what you're talking about with the low block. What type of effect does it have mentally, the low block? Because it feels like even last season, teams would maybe try to do well first half versus Sundowns, and then in the second half, man, they seem nervous. I don't know if it's nervous, they seem scared, they start acting out. What does that mentality have? And is low block something that you can play sustainably?
I don't think so, not a low block. I think the players, you get, as a player, I think we've all played soccer, you get tired of marking all the time, running up and down without the ball. You get tired. Once you get tired, you lose concentration. So I think it's also that effect, trying to get the ball and then moving up and down. It's not nice not having the ball. I think that has a huge effect on the players. So yeah, I think a mid block for me is what works, because if you win the ball in the mid block, it's the distance between you and the keeper is not so far. But if you're playing a low block, even if you win the ball, the distance is so far they can quickly recover and get the ball back. So even when you get the ball back, you lose it quickly, and that plays into the players' mind that we got the ball, we're not attacking, we're always defending. It's not nice to defend. I think that's the problem with the low block.
No, for time's sake, I'm going to jump in, Karim. I'm going to jump in. Let me ask you a question to the comments. The same question I've been asking everybody here. Do you think that, I saw somebody mention Shushan Piano there in the comments and say that, can't you win? Let me ask in the comments, can South African football, whether it be Shushan and Piano, whether it be Ushugela, whether it be the way that we've been playing football, let's say since 95, let's say, or early 2000s, is that football capable of winning the CAF Champions League, number one? And since it's only won it twice in 30 years, what's the blockage? What's stopping our football from being able to go and win the Champions League consistently? Please let me know what you guys think about that. Let me let in the next batch, and then after this, I'm going to then let everybody jump in. I see UPHD is coming in. I'm going to let you guys jump in after, and I'll give everybody 2 minutes to just say their piece. So I'm gonna bring in the guys who haven't spoken yet, and then afterwards, guys, feel free to jump in. I'll give you 2 minutes where you can just break down whatever you want to break down or speak about whatever you want to speak about. We'll make it an open forum towards the end. What I wanted to say was my problem with Imakesi, before I let this panel in, my problem with Imakesi, also playing that low block towards the end of the game, is that where Sundowns has looked weak under Okadoso is when the spaces between Sundowns become apparent. So you can see that, okay, to get the ball to Allende, it's a space. Then Allende turns and is alone because somebody else is gone. There's been a thing at Sundowns where they've been playing a very wide game, which has killed them because they can't come together. They'd even be stuck in boxes sometimes where they play in the same box because those are the closest guys. They don't even transition out. Now, when you sit in a low block and you don't do anything up, what happens is that you're also compacting the field. So when you start seeing khoza at the halfway line, that means that by default, Mamelodi Sundowns is coming closer. And when Mamelodi Sundowns comes closer, what is the thing that they're good at? Playing the ball in those areas, right? But if you were able to, again, create a situation where you are stretching them, and I know it's not as easy as just talking. If you're able to stretch them, that's when you'll find your spaces. That's when you'll be dangerous again, right? But if you let Sundowns come to you and play here and gain that confidence and get their touches and do all of that stuff, that's where they're going to hit you. Anyway, let me bring in Chero. Chero, welcome to the show. How are you? Chero? Uchero. Okay, let me bring in Maronza for now. Maronza, can you hear me?
Yes, OT.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll come to you, Maronza. Let me start with Uchero. Chero, welcome to the show. Tell me about this game. 2-1, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Imakesi.
A decent game, not a decent game. Imakesi, they were not good enough, unfortunately. Okay. It's a story of EPSL, yeah, Sundowns didn't deserve to win yesterday. But because of our individual brilliance, our players, they managed to win. I'm not happy about the coach on OC.
Yeah.
I think it's I've seen him perform for the past 2 months now. Yes, he can change the game. But if you look at what he does, he changes the game all the time. So we are not in the front foot. We are always trying to recover. We are always trying to change the game. That's not how we play. It's not our style. Number two, if we're gonna play discipline, that's what Mangoba said. He said, if you're playing in North African teams, they are very disciplined and compact. If you're gonna come with the speed that you are playing in now, this is Rulani Mokwena's speed. We're playing very slow, trying to move people out of position, and then we'll pounce. Those guys are very organized.
Yeah.
Hence, Sundowns hasn't won a Champions League since 2016, because when it comes to quarterfinals going upwards, you are playing against North African teams. They are very disciplined. Now, I am very I'm not happy about our speed. I'm not happy about our aggression. I'm not happy about our I can even say mentality or our attitude towards the game. We need to be aggressive. We need to be fast. We need to dribble and move forward. Now, what I'm seeing is there's a lot of sideways passes and backwards sideways passes until someone loses their position or gets dragged out. Then we can try and find that pass. PSL, we're gonna be fine, but the one thing we need the most, I don't think we're gonna get it playing this way. We're not all seeing. Yeah, so. And I went to look at his record. This man doesn't stay long. It doesn't stay in the job for a long time. 6 months, 8 months. Most of the time, he's been an assistant coach. I think that's where he's good at. There's something missing, man. As an assistant coach, or go ahead.
No. I wanted to ask Jero. Are you saying that Sundowns should be maybe looking for a long-term coach, and Cardoso is not a long-term coach?
It's definitely not a long-term coach, because it's obvious that Sundowns league is not what can I say? It's not it's a given. You have to win the league.
Okay.
So it's a given. Any decent coach, even if you can bring Owen Takama, he can probably win the league at Sundowns. But now the number one thing that we are looking for is CAF. And playing this way, we saw against Raja. Raja is in position number 6 in Morocco. Esfat is not, I think it's number 3 or 4 last time I checked. So these are not big teams or teams which are on form right now in their leagues.
Okay.
We saw against Miami, even though we were playing away, those guys were supposed to kill, but we let them back into the game. And so I'm critical of the coach. Yes, he can change the game, but like your previous caller said, if we're losing 2-0 at halftime, what's going to happen? Because we're not scoring enough goals. We are not aggressive. We are just letting teams get into positions. Meanwhile, we have
Mara, let's say he won the league, got 1-0, and he won the Champions League, got 1-0. Does it make it any less of a win?
Like I said, it doesn't count winning the league in South Africa as a Sundowns coach anymore. We've won it 7 times in a row. It doesn't count. So your number one thing is Champions League. And you know what? I was listening to Soccer Africa when Pitso was still the head coach of Bafana. He said, in South Africa, you have to win and play good football. If one of these things is not happening, you're going to get fired. And that is our nature. We are social people. We like to dance and sing and have a good time. Same thing into our football. We like to watch beautiful football. Hence, you see those guys playing Kasi football, the crowds are always packed.
Yeah.
Because we like entertainment. So if you're going to come and play this style, it's not going to happen. Hence, you see what's happening at Pirates. The Pirates fans, they go out to the stadium because they enjoy what they're seeing.
Okay,
but on Sunday, everyone was confused. I was sitting here, I was confused. I didn't know why these guys are playing so slow, and like they were not interested.
For time's sake, I'm gonna have to jump in. Chero. For time's sake, to bring in the others. Let me bring in Maronza.
Baba.
Keep on, Maronza. When I'll say is it.
No, yazi kwenzakalani ukuthi ngisasebhizi ngamanye ama-project ngisasebenza yazi ngumuntu okuhlanganisayo sehlanganisa futhi
hlanganisa ke na igame ngihlanganisele yona uthini ngale game Maronza
yabona lo uyahamba nge-8 lo nge-8 nje kokuqala inkulumo yakutshela kuzuthami lapha phezulu uzokutshela nge-8 lo senthelayo lapha Pirates washayisa isigubhu esinzima kabi lo uyahamba nge-8 lo le nto bekadlala izolo lekadlala na Sunday last azodlala nePirates khohlwa samkhipha lo yahamba lo awuthi let me tell you something. I told you I think 2 weeks back I said I think we're talking, I don't remember the game. I said this guy before when he was interviewed by the Sundowns panel, the only thing that he did it was to bring a philosophy ga rulani ga mancoba ga Pitso, right? And then he tried to say, I can bring something better. Okay. That's what he did. And now he's trying to do something that is different from the 3, which doesn't work. Okay. Which will never work, not at Sundowns, Chief. Sundowns is a brand, Sundowns is a big thing. So if I have to come in and say, I'll beat Rivero, right? I have to bring something different. I cannot play as he did. If I want to do something that Ruud Krol has done before, I have to come to bring something different. So whatever he's doing, right, I'm telling you, you'll never last at Sundowns.
So Maronza, will it be about the results or will it be about the play?
You know, at Sundowns these days, right, results, they don't see results as something. They want it beautiful, they want it tap in, they want, you understand me? All those things, they want leantole. So if you don't have it as Sundowns supporters, when they're sitting there, they see different things. They say they are not enjoying it. You understand me? You know, at last I watched my friend's weights, right? That tall guy, I know his name. I think he's a center line at Sundowns, right? He says, when I understand if a top supporter from Sundowns cannot understand what you are doing, bro, we are in trouble, I'm telling you. If there's a team that is so hooligans, which have too much hooligans in South Africa, Sundowns, wait and see the way they lose. Then you'll see the hooligans of Sundowns. Now they're quiet because everything's going very well. Yeah. So Sunday, and 8, if it doesn't change, bro, he's going to get hurt. And the other thing that I've noticed is that Rulani last season, if you check the record of Rulani, he had the most booked, like yellow cards, red cards, and all that, but he won the league. All right, he was playing dirty game, right? But he won the league, and then at the end he tried to make it. He was fired. What about him? Coming to Sundowns, you need to.
No, Maronza. I wanted to ask you something on that point, Eako. And just Randy on the side. Did the management confuse fans or make it confusing for fans when Rulani was fired? Because now I think the club is stuck between a results first and a culture first club. Did that confuse things? I don't know. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, I get you. I think they wanted to cut the talks. You know, Sundowns is a big brand now. Everybody can. Coaches from SA, what all those things. They wanted to cut everything within that, right? But I think when they were doing the panel of like interviews and all that, right? They wanted somebody who's going to bring something different, right? Yeah. Something which is going to be, you know, but I don't think he had what they wanted, to be honest. Okay. To be honest, the last speaker, I think he said something about his record. I also look for his record. I don't see him lasting at Sundowns. I bet, you know, I don't know. When Rivero came to Pirates, we used to say Hangega lasted or because of this record. I don't know. Maybe this time around he will last, but I don't see him. 8 low. ayahamba lo
Okay.
lo ke itahamba lo ayisomlimaza yesomenzele isibukubuku lo akadlala le game ayidlala le two games apho uya kuyo odlala nePirates ayisombonisa 2-0 before half time lo
Yeah.
asomenzele istory thina angeke sidlale
Okay.
naye.
Now, Maradza, it's for Butlali. Butlali, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oti, skipper, Oti.
Man, I'm happy, guys. Me, I'm just living my life. Team Yami doesn't have passport problems, doesn't have top of the league problems. We're just where we are.
Oti, the stress is coming on Sunday. Relax, Oti. It's coming.
How did you feel about the game, brother?
Oti, let me talk about the game before I get into Sundowns and where I think they should do going forward. I think Oti, going into the game, obviously Magezi did well to get the first goal in the first 12 minutes. But I think what they did wrong after that is deciding to sit back while you're 13 minutes into the game. You can't do that against Sundowns. So, I mean, to be honest, Magezi, we don't. To be honest, there's no quality there. There's no quality other than players such as Elvis Chibezeze, Wonderboy Makubu, and Chibamandare.
Chirambadare.
Yeah,
Legend.
Chirambadare. That one. Yeah, not a legend. Let's relax. But yeah, other than those, you can't really name many players other than extremely. The people that are extremely into the PSL that will watch Magezi versus Richards Bay, but there's no quality there. It's an unknown team. So how are you gonna sit back against Sundowns as an unknown team? Because if there's no quality, that means you don't have a tactical discipline. So if you're gonna sit back, when you sit back, you have to stay compact at all times. So all Sundowns need to do is stretch you out as far as they can, get some players who can get some width, and they overload the wings, and then that opens up space in the middle. Then it's just a ball into the middle, and then that's how Ribeiro scores. Yes, every player doesn't score that. It's a beautiful goal. It's an acrobatic goal. But, at the end of the day, tactically, the Sundowns just stretched them out, overloaded the wings, and then the whole team drifted to that side, and then it opened up space in the middle for a ball to be put in. And then that's where the wrong thing comes, because how you keep sitting back. You keep sitting back. And the second goal was just individual brilliance. But I think coming to Sundowns, this thing of going to CAF and playing Shushan and piano for the whole game and think it's gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it. Unfortunately, it's not gonna cut it. Because you're gonna go to Africa and you're gonna meet teams that will play ugly the whole game, and teams who are actually tactically disciplined, teams that will stay compact for the whole game, and you're gonna go there and think you can play Shushan and piano. Chief, African teams, they play dirty football the whole team. All African teams need is one outlet and one counter attack, one or two counter attacks, and then you're gone. Because again, they have quality players and they are tactically disciplined. Tactically, they are disciplined. So if you're gonna go there and think, yes, Shushan and piano might work for you in the first, I don't know, couple of first 30 minutes or even the first half of the game. But if you can't learn to play dirty and play with these people, if you can't beat them, join them. When last has Sundowns when they won the CAF? It's 2016. It's been what? 9 years. So it clearly they couldn't beat them. So join them. I know it's a culture for Shushan and piano. It's a culture, but it's for the sake of winning CAF, which is the most prestigious club trophy in Africa. Adapt the African way, because if you look at all the teams that won CAF, it's relatively the same structure. It's dirty football. Stay back and release one or two pacey men up forward, and you're gonna get 2 goals. It's the same structure.
But then aren't you signing your own King Warrant? Aren't you getting your own job taken away from you? Because we've seen coaches come here and then be extremely successful at teams. If you think about Stuart Baxter, if you think about Kimang Middendorp, if you think about Hugo Bruce, what he's doing now, if you think about Ruud Krol to a degree, fans just didn't like their football, and it didn't matter that you were winning. So does it help him to go and get these results and be ugly? Or is there a part at a big team that you have to appease those fans too?
OT, I'll say one thing, OT. Sundowns fans will always be Sundowns fans. Sundowns fans will always be used to Shushan and Piano. But what Sundowns fans won't remember in the next 10 years is while they won a CAF, they were not playing Shushan and Piano. They will remember the CAF title. They won't remember the Shushan and Piano that you were playing to get that CAF. They won't care. Even on the comments, they can say whatever they want. If you look 10 years later and win a CAF now, you won't forget that. Oh,
you won't care about
that CAF.
People forget that Sundowns played ugly to win that one.
Thank you, OT. You won't care that we played by sitting back and releasing one on the counter. You will remember that we got that CAF. Who speaks about Al Ahly's title today and say, no man, they want it ugly, they no Shushan and Piano, no combination play. It doesn't happen. You do that in the PSL all you want. Do that in the PSL all you want. Spend 60 million per transfer window, even on one player, and then do that in the PSL. But when it comes to CAF, we have to be serious now, Machi. It's not a Mickey Mouse here like PSL,
Okay.
But yeah, that's I think they should develop that structure into Mamelodi Sundowns.
For time, I'm gonna jump in and let Utamu PhD come in. Can I hit you with a question straight up, PhD, before you go in?
All right.
This notion of beautiful football, is it maybe what holds us back a little bit in the country?
No. No. It doesn't hold us back. You see, I think we should understand that both Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, and Mamelodi Sundowns, they play different football. And this thing, it didn't start today. There were players like your Bashin Mahlangu, who was playing for Sundowns, a very good player in his prime, but he was not good to play for Sundowns. It doesn't mean that he was a bad player playing for Sundowns, but according to this philosophy of Sundowns, he couldn't play.
Yeah.
He relied more on the shot, on the space, on speed. You understand? That's how the teams are. Hence, we say we want South African football to be advocated to the world the way we play. This is what we're talking about. This thing, I like, I think there's a video of yours I saw, you were talking about how we should write our football down or how we play and start believing in our craft. This is where we get it wrong. There was a time where Kaizer Chiefs won the league. I remember I was with one of my friends whom I was with even today. As Kaizer Chiefs were winning, I said, yes, by the time of Stuart Baxter, I said, Kaizer Chiefs are winning, but they are not winning the Kaizer Chiefs way. And for Kaizer Chiefs fans who went to Kaizer Chiefs, they did not go. Remember when Chiefs was formed, already they had supporters. They went for the football more than before winning.
Yeah.
When Jomo Sono started Jomo Cosmos, people went for football. My dad had to leave Orlando Pirates for Cosmos because of the brand of football that they were playing. And they lost fans in the process. Okay, but just not to go all over.
Hey. Am I jumping?
They lost the culture. Now they are struggling to go back to the culture. Yes, they won. Hello? They lost their culture then. And now, because then they were so excited about winning, they forgot that they are losing their culture, which now they have to wait for over 10 years. And, just to find and go back to their culture. We know that Sundowns, we know how Sundowns plays. And by so saying, we're not saying that Sundowns shouldn't defend. They've got their own way of defending. They've got their own way of attacking. Yes, you need to improve and stuff. And I said this, when Bafana won the CAF in 1996, which football did they play? Because they played the South African way. Did they have any European player there? They won the South African way. The following year, the following AFCON, they went in 1998. Jomo Sono, who never even coached the European team, He went to the final at Burkina Faso. Which football did they play? Did they not play for the South African way? And then we went on to change into playing the European football. Where did it get us? Because Clive Barker is a South African, coached Amazulu, coached many South African teams. Everything he knows is South African football. And what did we achieve of him? We achieved more. Jomosono took us to the... I'm talking about two coaches. The Orlando Pirates that we're talking about in 1995, after we were not allowed to play with the world. What happened with that squad of Majens Motale, all those people, all those players? They played South African football the best way. How? Where did they go? Didn't they reach the final of the Champions League? I'm talking back senior stuff. 2013 or so, Orlando Pirates again, your Andy Lejali, Opa Manyisa, Happy Jele, Senzo Meiwa, all those people, they don't even have a European experience. Where did they go? Didn't they reach the finals? But what I'm saying is...
Can you just to play devil's advocate here, could you argue that maybe in Chiefs' case, that the problem with Chiefs was that, if you're going to move away from your culture, move away from your culture. So if you see that Stuart Baxter is doing well, go all the way in that direction. Because I think my fear for Sundowns here is that they're stuck in a no man's land. It's not a no man's land, but it's you can't hold on to both things. You can't have your cake and eat it too. So it's either you go full into this thing, or you go back and go full into whatever your culture was. Like in that video, I was speaking about how if we're going to say South African football must win, we need to invest into it. We need to go deep into it and study it and do all of those things. If you're not going to do that, then go with the other way then. But you have to go full into one way, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. And OTT, you'll never go full into it more than the people that own it. And you will never run away from yourself. No matter how much you can try, you'll never. Sundowns will never run away from being Sundowns. Neither will Pirates, no Chiefs. No matter how successful they can be. I mean, Chiefs introduced transition that time, and for me, I think Rulani Mokwena really shot himself on the leg when he was playing against Esperance. He got desperate. I don't think it came from him. It came from management. He got desperate. He started playing football that was not his. I think had he played his own or the Brazilian way or the Sundowns way, he could have given us something. But because of the desperation and the push from management, made him to change, just to be desperate. Sundowns are not desperate, especially the Sundowns of Rulani was never desperate. They were, patient build-ups. I like referring to this game where Barcelona was playing Juventus and what's this coach? The special one. He was coaching Juventus. Yeah, okay. Mourinho. And in the CAF Champions League semis, Barcelona.
Inter.
Maybe,
not Inter.
Yes, Inter Milan. Yes, they were playing Barcelona. But Barcelona lost the Barcelona way. They didn't even have many shorted goals. But they played the Barcelona way. It's about times that we keep the culture and lose our own way. I'm saying this is according to me. Because, sometimes you catch up with this thing later and it will take you. Remember Kaizer Chiefs, every season they won something. But now it's almost 10 seasons of not winning anything. Because they were more desperate for success and losing themselves in the process. That's why I ask. This is the Orlando Pirates that I want to support. Or I like. That's why at some point when we lose, I say, I want us to lose the Pirates way. And one day I hope when Pirates wins and not wins the Pirates way, I'll raise it. That no, we didn't play the Pirates way. We didn't rely on wingers. Because if we don't play the Pirates way, we will never have a Relebohile Mofokeng. If you think what Relebohile Mofokeng is doing, it's not a fluke. We can refer to Steve Lukulia. We can refer to Jabu. We know this is our football. We know where did Relebohile Mofokeng go? Where did Giftly Remy go to be that special? We're not saying let us become better when we adopt this Eurocentric mentality. Let's not change the whole thing. You cannot take Relebohile Mofokeng now and want him to change him completely. Or to change our football.
I hear you. Mara, sometimes I feel like you need to have people that have the courage to want to change something. And when I say change something, it's not necessarily to change the way you play completely, Mara, you know, you look at Barcelona, total football to tiki-taka to, you know, like there's been evolutions of it. And I feel like sometimes with South African football, we're not allowing it to evolve. And it doesn't have to be like helicopter football. Mara, at some point, man, and you get what, at some point you need to take it to the next level.
I understand you 100%. Yes.
Just that last point there, Tammy. I'm sorry, then I can. Yeah.
I'm with you 100.
Okay, no. For time, let me do this, guys. Yeah. Very quickly, give me a point there, and then I'll move on.
All right. What I'm saying is, I heard you exactly what you're saying. We should invest in this football. You understand? But the problem is we are dividing it. We are calling it by names. We want to move so much away from it that we'll end up losing our identity and self in it. But unfortunately, if we can invest, I'm with you on that. If we can invest in this football and try and improve, we'll go far.
Okay. No, Tammy. For time's sake, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to go... I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes just to finish off the show. Just tell me where you want to land on the things, and then we'll go from there. So let me go to Moki. Moki, welcome to the show. You've got 2 minutes. What do you think? What do you want to discuss from today?
No, thanks a lot, man. Let me just raise 2 points. The first point I want to raise is that Magfika go CAF, whether it's a Confed or a Champions League, fancy football, my brother, doesn't count.
Yeah.
Those guys, Muna, they will play scope and donor, score 1 goal and defend for 90 minutes. Those guys don't care. So if anyone is obsessed with philosophy and style of play, maybe in Europe or America or Asia or South America, Marolana, Africa, the style of play, especially when it comes to CAF, in terms of our results, we've seen it, Dautam. We've seen it, the Sundowns. We all, every year, say, Ahly. Right now, Pirates, they went all out and defeated the Ahly. Guess what is wrong with Pirates? They expose themselves by them going all out and showing all their strengths and weaknesses. When it comes to our quarterfinal and semi-finals, by them going all out, they showed our Al Hilal, our Esperance, our Ahly, their strengths and weaknesses. Ahly was relaxed. All that they wanted to do was to qualify for the next stages. And into ngifuna ukuyisho Tham uMamkhize bafethu uMamkhize cela ukuthi manje sidiscuss indaba le indaba kaMamkhize bafethu, you know man, indaba kaMamkhize bafethu. uMamkhize manje she must come out and ayenze a statement ukuthi azini bafethu ngihlulekile. I don't want to say anything whether go to Kaizer Motsepe, you know, Irvin, they are politically affiliated to ANC and they want to protect her, but it's also about black business as to whether we teen as a wonder bamnyama. Can we run these organizations? Can we do it? How many times have we seen this thing? And I think look crazy point of thing about it, this thing of buying and selling of our status.
Mara, can I ask you, does the problem lie with the Abo Mamkhize, or does the problem lie with the league, Nabo? Because if we're running a proper league, you shouldn't, the vetting should be done. You know, you should be checking these people out.
It's one WhatsApp group. I don't want to say something that's going to affect this platform. But Ivan, Kaizer, no Motsepe, no Mamkhize, we all know where a political affiliation is. We all know. We don't need a brain to understand what's happening. But ISARS is doing their job. Mamkhize uhlulekile uyirana le club. Uhlulekile urana business yakhe, uhlulekile ukurana business wakhe, and lento lezo is affecting the league. I just thank EPSL for coming out today and receiving a statement good as of today. I'm a game way cheaper. I'm a game way Royal. A pick pelling. Royal pelling abafithu. Upanyaza destroyed Morocco Swallows, a politician. Mamkhize destroyed Ibn Celtic. She bought Ibn Celtic and changed the name to a son and whatever. She destroyed. These two people destroyed classic football teams. Our own politicians and politically aligned people destroyed teams that we grew up loving.
Okay,
let me just land.
For time's sake, thank you, into deep waters. Let me go to Tato.
Tato,
you've got 2 minutes. What do you want to touch on from anything that you want to speak on?
Yeah,
Ya dipolitika ke di kene tate OT. Ke starta ka ya CAF.
Okay.
Like I've been hearing people talking about CAF is the most prestigious in INI, and we should now, because we king, if we're not winning, we should join them or in something like that. We
Yeah.
should join the North African thing. Remember, that's their own philosophy, first of all. Second of all, I feel like us as South Africans, we do not trust each other. We do not trust ourselves. I mean, we do not believe in ourselves. And we have a defeatist mentality. We want quick fix things. Because let's say we play the North African way now, and maybe somehow Sundowns and Pirates wins now, end of this season. And no one is counting, no one is counting. What about development of players, our players, young players? Are we now going to start saying when we develop young players, we're going to develop them the North African way? Because it needs someone to develop. It needs coaches, food, something we forget. Who's the coach here in South Africa who's going to play the North African way and I don't know, coach youngsters, coach teams to play the North African way so that we live our own way? I believe, and I saw one of your videos, and you made very sense. Tina, as South Africans, it's about time we go deeper in our own South African play. Study it with number 10 weight. When we say this is a number 10 from South Africa, number 10 on Brazil, even England, Spain, they know this is our number. Even Germany, guys. Yes, we can steal some things because in everything, if you want to improve, you still one or two things. But you should know our number 10 to the core. Our wing play, whatever. But we should start now studying so that we can develop, because it's about now, but we're not talking about development of our players. And we say the South African way, the way PSL is playing. And PSL there's lots of mediocre players. Not to getting there is very difficult, but we have many undeveloped players. I'm talking about development and intensity. The only thing is intensity. And intensity, are we going harder? Are we going to defend in the Ganjan? Because yes, Pirates, when they played their last second leg, which by winning 95, they were defending, but there was intensity in that. Not they were not playing their South African way. There are games that are different, but in our home games, they were playing the South African way. It's on us to develop South African way, tactically, technically, and otherwise. Otherwise, thank you.
No.
I said a little, but thank you.
Thank you, Tato. Let me go to Unsuga. Unsuga, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, OT.
Keep at it, too. Okay.
I've been scarce, bro.
You hey, Mara, discuss no one can ask
You have become bigger now, so you have lots of friends. You don't want us because we start.
Yeah, boy. Mara, I've got 2 minutes. Hey, Maria, what again?
Yeah, it's very tough. You know, this is the first time I'm saying I have hope Sundowns will win CAF, because we've been topping the group for past 5 years, and we have not yet yielded our results are right. So it's been tough. So for now, last year the problem was like Rulani didn't have option B. You know, when you're playing the only way you know how. So the teams okay, Sundowns plays this much. Like last season we had a problem. We had one striker, like number 9. Okay, number 9. So this year at least there is Rhinos, so there is Matthews, so there will be a different. And then I have hope they didn't top the group, so now they will work harder. You know, we Champions League is not like a league, so it's better winner no matter what winner kanjani, but just win a game, 1 game per time. Ufike la ufuna ukufika khona. So for now, my guess, it's a giant slayer. So yesterday was tough for me. I wanted to enter. I was like, no. Let me just watch the game. Yeah, but even like the top 3, my guess is giving them hard time. The top 3, not only Sundowns, my guess is giving them the hard time. So that's fair.
Okay.
And I'm hurt about Royal AM. I'm really hurt. I cannot blame Kaizer because even from the start, they didn't want her to join the league. You know, the time she as her owner, yeah, they didn't want her in that group. They didn't want her to own the team. So I think even for now, it's still that war. And
is the problem with the owners or is the problem with the league? Because these things should not be happening every year.
This is South Africa. I'm 36. I was born here. I know the politics. Panyaza didn't destroy Sundowns also.
Oh, Swallows there.
Set up. Nah, Swallows. He was set up. Swallows was in lots of debt. Like, it was a lot. So, that's why when we spoke to McGen podcast, he say, if you want to be from a billionaire to a millionaire or to a millionaire to have nothing, just own a football team in South Africa.
Okay. But for time, I'm going to jump in. We'll have the conversation. Nobody into trouble. I don't want to get into trouble. Let me bring it to Koga. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hola, Mr. Uti. Ngagcina lela langa lela ngithi ngiyawina. Sharp sharp.
Sundowns mayawina. What do you want to touch on? You've got 2 minutes. What do you want to touch on with anything we've been speaking about?
No, ithi ngiqale lana. Mr. Oti, isitayela se-Sundowns ukuqala asibuye lokishini. Isitayela se-Sundowns original wasenda uBraston and others to go to Italy. They come back with the style se-Shine and Piano. So I don't understand into le it's our original style. It's our original style. It's our original style kanjani ngoba sasithathe Italy. Point number 1. Point number 2, we're talking about protecting our South African football heritage and all of that. But when our teams go for off-season by Europe, can't you play heritage? It's a Europe or South Africa. Why would you go to Europe if we are protecting our heritage and it's a Tlalipola League? I heard Ngara Akulu HD at Ureli udlala la South Africa. Yeah, Ureli uphiwe akadlala ibhola la South Africa, uphiwe utrubula, uphiwe ibhola. Akusibhola uphiwe, unebhola. You go to Brazil, you'll find umuntu odlala njengoreli. Uyambona uRibery ukuthi almost similar styles bayatrubula uphiwe. Just ukuthi uthole a-European coach ekwazi ukumgayida kahle ukuthi skill sakhe asenze sibe effective and efficient for a team. Hayi ukuthi udlala ibhola la South Africa, uphiwe ibhola talent leliya. Raw, linjalo. Just wathola abantu abakazi kumpheka kahle. Number 2, size kule nto le Sundowns ukuthi okay, Sundowns ngathi seyifuna ukudlala ibhola la North Africa. Yeah, Sundowns mina ngiyibona kwami iza kahle ngale bhola le efuna ukudlala. Remember Mr. OT, if you can go to stats last season and season before, how many goals ozibonayo ngama-header la South Africa kwi-PSL? Very few. Do your research ubheka ama-stats ukuthi ama-header angakhi la South Africa. So it shows you ukuthi la South Africa areally we are poor. And I once said on your show ukuthi if any team ifuna ukushaya Sundowns or Pirates, they must come with aerial balls, cross into the net, abakwazi ukuzidefend. Still ayenzakala, and you see ukuthi manje le nto le Sundowns what it's using now. Sundowns manje sekulanda ngama aerial, asakulanda ngetikateke eboxini, cutback siyakora. Manje seyifake in siletha phezulu. Into engifuna ukuyisho leyo Mr. Uthi. Thingidedela
Mina ngifuna ukubuza just before uhamba. Ngifuna ukubuza ngale ndaba yarile. Do you think that eMzansi siphila ngetalent lama player, not ukuthi siyaba developer? So naye urile, there's going to come a time where naye ashaya ceiling yakhe because we're not putting enough into him in terms of developing. As an example, ngori, do you think that's phila ngayo ukuthi hayi mawumnandi siyakufaka uyadlala, but there's no actual development that's happening?
Mr. OT, masingacambelana manga iqiniso lelo likhulumayo. Ungahamba ithembisa yonke, uhambe isoweto yonke, wonke ama-ground asebhoqweni a-end. You can go in every afternoon. Ubheke ama-city development. Phela ama-city development madoda asingabhekini into ezifeni zabo Gauteng Development League. I-development iqala phansi ebhoqweni elokishini. And ebhoqweni akunanto enzakalayo. Lama local leagues lawa abothufa wasesoweto la asebhoqweni. Singasibayeke laba abasenemali. Lapha ebhoqweni la bonke aboreli baqala khona, onke amajita aqala khona, aboshishi baqala khona. There's nothing happening there. Ama-funds awafiki ebantwini. So ama-player, they only make it there because kunomuntu ombonile ngalo ndlela kambone ngayo. But truly speaking, i-development from raw, even nasey'kolweni, there's no leagues zasesikolweni la South Africa. Only those few schools have abadlala i-league yesikolo. But in many townships you'll go, ayikho i-tournament yey'kolo. So what development are we talking about?
Okay, no.
Uzangi-invite next time siqhubeke bhuti wami.
Ngizoyinotha ngifuna ukuyikhuluma lena. Let me bring in Fish Mike. Fish Mike, welcome to the show. How are you? Where's that dear Fish Mike? Come on, the mic. Okay, for sugars, for time. Let me do this. I'm gonna go over just a little bit. The no show is gonna start now at 9. I'm gonna go over just a little bit. Let me put in the last 3 guys. 2 minutes, please. I'm going over right now. Tyler, you've got 2 minutes, Chief.
Yabona manje sigayoma 2 minutes la.
Oh, iyachayisa manje.
Our agent la they were speaking. This is not a platform for Sundowns people, eh? This is a platform from Kaizer Chiefs people. Eh? Please guys, don't give too much time to those people. Hey, they're gonna chow me there.
You're gonna chow watching, huh?
No, I think when I OT man, just to go back to the coach, the Indaba Sundowns, the coach corner, you know, and also to touch base on this interesting topic about South African football. I think you've hit it on the nail. I got goosebumps, you know, when you were saying. I even make a note of that, you know, and so that when I meet people and say, guys, we need to come up with a research program. Even if we go to these institutions, they come up with a budget and research about our South African football and write a book, even if it's universities or a graduate, a doctorate graduate, you know, to come up with a thesis on how is our South African football structured, our players. Let's research this thing and we document it, you know, so that we know number 10, this is what number 10 does. Tito, this is what he does. Tambazane, this is what he does. I think that is an exciting project. If also SAFA could come on board and other strategic partners like Abo Bet, if that could, you know, we could draft a proposal or something like that, OT, man. There's guys here that have companies, man. Also, they could fund that thing through Overthinking Football. You know, that's your idea. That's your baby. That's how I see it. I think on that topic on OT, every country has its own style. If you go to Germany, there's a structured way how they play, because of the personalities. These people are well-mannered. You look at the way they play, it's more or less to their personality. Go to Brazil, they've got a style of play. You go to, Spain, they've got their own style of play. I don't know about England. England is just a mixed masala. I don't know what's happening there. You know, because of there's different coaches when OT that come from different parts of the world, and they are embedding different philosophies because they're players, you know. And now as a national coach, you're trying to come up with a style of play or a national style of play. There's none. Hence they haven't won anything since I don't know when. But if you go to Spain, there is a way how they play. You go to Netherlands, there's a way how they play. You come to South Africa, our players are not well built. They are nippy. They play in 1-2. You go to streets now. We all grew up playing football. Someone said that earlier on when I OT. We all grew up playing football. We used to make his den,
yeah, one part.
Yeah, one part. You know, that's a tiki-taka football when I OT. And you grew up with that mindset. Look at our players, how they are structured. When they play against those big guns, in Al-Ahly. Look at Pirates, how they navigated around Al-Ahly. They were playing South African typical football. So if you're coming you are a North African coach, you're coming to South Africa, you need to study our game. That's what Coach Ribeiro has done. He has studied our game. This is how they play. And then he infused some of the nice anyana things there to make it tick, this thing. Yeah, well. But good coach Sundowns, I think
very quickly. Yeah.
He's a reactive coach, OT. He's a reactive coach. He's not a smart coach. He just reacts. He's always anxious. Look at his bench. Whenever they are losing, everybody's busy there. Everybody, you don't know what's happening there. Everybody's anxious. That guy from the first whistle, he's standing there like he's gonna lose. He's going to lose his job today. Somebody needs to sit him down and say, Chief, relax. You need to study the game. That's why they score. When OT, every game they played, they concede.
Okay.
He reacts based on whatever that is happening. Doesn't come with his own style of play. Every game he plays, he always concedes. And what happens if you lose 2-0 in OT? You're gonna play semi-final, the CAF. You're playing against Ahly. They score first. Do you think you're gonna come back like you use Komake, Maniema, and other things? No ways. You go to Club World Cup. Let me leave it there when Let me leave it there.
Okay, for time. We'll make it. We've got time, guys. Don't worry. We've got time. Let me bring in Musa. Close it off for me. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you, OT?
Man, I'm good, Musa. I've got 2 minutes to close off the show. What do you want to touch on?
Well, I wanted to say, look, we've all been saying we have a style, we have a form of play, but up to so far, we are infusing a lot of European styles. Why? Soccer has transformed. Soccer is no more what it used to be, that Iwan Palo, Slalanje, Iwan Palo, we're playing this. If we don't infuse the European style, we'll have a problem. Then we'll be left behind. So infusing these Europeans, eventually at the end of the day, we're matching up the standards. You can see how is Pirates now playing. Yes, I'm a Sundowns fan, but you can see how is Pirates playing. It has also infused some of the things that we did not have in our country, and they're doing well. Well, also in conclusion, I'd like to say, even if Ahly scored first, we will still come back and win and beat Ahly anytime.
I see you guys, but
I see. No, it's Musa delicious, man. It's Musa delicious.
Thank you, Musa delicious. Okay, guys, so I'm going to close it there. I've gone over a little bit. TTB show is starting. Lindo's show is starting that side. So please get on over that side too. We all support each other. There's space for everybody. I'm going to note all these topics down, and I want to have conversations about this because we've had them in ways here, but I feel like there's a lot on the bone here that we need to speak about. But thank you guys so much for your support. Please support me. I put my content out almost every day on YouTube. YouTube is my only monetized place, so please. Every time you watch a video, every time you do something there, it's actually translates into money to the platform. Thank you to everybody that donates. You guys have no idea how much all of those donations help to keep everything running and to do all of this, guys. There's not many platforms where we can sit together and speak about these things in depth and with each other. I'm not a former player. This is not Supersport. This is not SABC. This is us speaking to each other as fans and really hearing our voices, hearing our ideas, thinking about this football we love. And everybody has a voice. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something here, and we can all learn and grow from each other. This is why these platforms exist. This is why my platform exists. So please, guys, support. Thank you so much for joining me. Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m. Unless Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, Bafana, Banyana are playing, we will be here. If you want to watch any of the previous conversations back, they are available in full on YouTube. Tato, I can't do overtime. They are available in full on YouTube, so you can go and watch not just our match reviews, but also incredible conversations we've had on this platform here. So feel free to head on over that side and also support. Guys, it's been amazing. I'll see you then. This weekend. Oh, free agents. Okay. Bye, bro.